Tan 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 tan, 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 tan 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 tan.
Ladies and gentlemen, if consistency were two people. No, we're already talking. We're already talking. If consistency were two people.
You know, we haven't given a shout out to people in the group in a while. Shout out to Evans Mauta, Albert, Ken Peary, Joseph in Australia, Morte.
Going through like the
Precious Van Rieteveld. I'm going through the most active in the group.
Yeah, that's good.
We hardly see Mercy Gray anymore. Fijizi showed up just to tell us about his album.
Congratulations on the album.
Zodwa Sejoy, Zara as well. Big shout out. Yeah, the list goes on and on. But anyway.
Yeah, so basically those are people in our WhatsApp group. The incredible conversations that we have there. Some people agree, some people fight, some people get emotional. So we've got a small Patreons group.
Yeah.
Where the ultra fans come through and they do support the podcast. Because it also takes money to run this.
Yeah.
And though we've had incredible sponsors like Big Tree and Techno, we've had other people that have come.
Have you ever used a Techno phone before?
I've not, to be honest.
You haven't?
No.
I'll tell you one thing. Everything that Apple will come and boast about now, Techno has probably been doing for like 5 years.
Guess what?
Wait.
The 17 is
Air. 17 Air is what I want to talk about right now. Have you seen how slim and is it thin or slim this phone is? Have you seen how? Have a feel of it. I know when I saw the reviews on the iPhone 17 Air, they're like, it's so thin. I was like,
there is something.
Techno has been doing this for years.
There's something specific I want to tell you about.
Right, go on.
One of their bragging points
was
that now you can record a video while the selfie camera also records you.
This phone has been doing this for how many years now?
How long have we been talking about it? They've introduced that.
Finally on iPhone. That's what I'm saying. A lot of what you're going to see on the iPhone 17 has already been in the Techno for years. And this...
Look at this. That's a Techno.
I met somebody today who just got an iPhone 16. We're attacking the iPhone today. Who just got an iPhone 16. They're saying, I'm yet to see what the issue is, what the hype is all about, because I've been using a Techno for a while.
Yeah.
And there's so much more in the Techno than the iPhone, because a lot of what
the stuff that's practical.
Exactly. A lot of what comes in the iPhone, a lot of what Techno has, you have to download in the iPhone, but Techno comes with from the box. Correct. You know what I mean?
Live translation.
Oh, that's beautiful. You're an international businessman.
Someone speaking Mandarin to you.
Imagine
your hearing is English.
You speak English and the phone translates in real time. They hear you in Mandarin. You're not doing that on the iPhone.
Isn't that not currently?
Isn't that cutting edge? Are you married?
It is.
He just got married last week. The other week.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I know you're not cheating yet, but when you start cheating, let me tell you what you do with this phone. Wait, where, bruh? Let me tell you what you do with this phone. So it's got different profiles, and according to like the
home,
right,
outside,
according to the pin that you put in, opens a different profile.
That's crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's an award-winning hip-hop artist. He goes by his full real name. His name is Chanda Mbao. Welcome to TZP podcast.
Thank you, John.
I'll tell you a funny story.
So he tells me about you. And he lies as always and says, I want to put his full bio in. So we've got a production group. He says to me, I'm going to put that in the group.
I will.
And then he didn't. So one quick disclaimer, guys, I'm wearing the same clothes. Kalenga was too.
Because also wearing the same clothes you wore last week. Period.
Wait, let me give you guys a disclaimer, because we've shot 2 episodes in the same day.
Guys, listen.
The episode that you watched last week with Dixon Peary, we shot that literally 10 minutes apart.
Shanda, you know what this is?
This episode.
Do you ever have those episodes where, in real life, do you ever have those where you meet someone wearing these clothes, and you meet them a week later, like,
you begin
I want them. I still got more clothes.
Yeah. No, guys, we showed this on the same episode, so please don't think that I'm poor, but I'm not that poor. Anyway, so this guy here says, I'm gonna put a bio of
Chanda Mbao,
our guest in the group. He didn't. You walk in and I'm like, I swear I know this guy. I swear I know this guy. So immediately what comes to me is he's probably famous. That's probably where I know him from. And then we spoke right before we started shooting. So I've met this guy before.
Yeah, I heard the conversation. You guys sounded like some venture capital conversation that you were having earlier. Is it?
No, you describe it better.
No, yeah, something like that. Basically, yeah. We've discussed finance. So in my other life, I'm a finance guy, and so every once in a while I try and be of help to different types of businesses.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my.
Can we talk about you getting married? How many weeks now?
Oh man, it's fresh. It's like a week.
A week.
It's a week. I'm still going your honeymoon?
Man, because we're moving, so.
What are you moving to?
We'll see, but we're looking for a nice place, so.
But not outside Zambia?
No.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
In question marks.
Why question marks? I don't have a Techno, so I don't have a Techno, so.
No, listen. I say.
So none of that multi-profile.
Listen, I've heard somebody say, guys, we don't get married, we surrender.
So how's the surrender for you, bro? How's that going so far?
I don't need to get advice from you, man.
Yeah, I'll be 9 years in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah?
Yeah. 9 years and 3 weeks.
You, man.
Yeah, you should. And then
How's it been for you so far? The one weekend?
I was brand new, bro, so.
Yeah, like it's still got the
Honeymoon
marriage
phase.
smell.
Yeah,
you just took the plastic off the seats.
Yeah, it's all fresh, so no complaints.
You still don't fart around each other still.
No, I think they're past that now, bro.
You think so?
I think so.
Do you?
No, I don't.
See, he says he doesn't.
Try and hide it, but I'm sure she'd be hearing.
How long have you guys dated?
Oh, a long time, man. Long time. Like, it was like on and off, so, but, good 7 years in total.
So, what is it about you as a man that realizes, A, I need to get married? Never mind to who, but just getting into the institution, and then B, to this particular person.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I think this is our expert. This is our resident expert over.
No, you just got in, so it's, that question.
No, so I mean, the way I think about it, man, is the analogy that I use is bungee jumping.
Just do it.
If you stand at the ledge very long, you won't jump.
Right.
So at some point, you're like, okay, there's the common expression, the colloquialism about, I guess I won't cuss. I don't know if we're allowed to cuss, but
you are.
Either use the bathroom or get off the
Shoot or get off the pot.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Yeah.
So
I feel I've been on the pot for a while, man. Like, I feel like I'm constipated.
yeah, you might want to look at that. You might want to see a doctor.
The award-winning artist part of it. I don't. Which award? Which award
This
was
is news to me.
Yeah.
It's for Selfish, one of the first records that I dropped when I got back.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess maybe something to do with it. Maria Nepembe was in the video, so that gave the video a little bit of clout.
Wait, which award was this?
It was the CBC Television Awards.
Ah. Okay. So you got an award for the video, for the song.
Yeah, I think it was Hip Hop Video of the Year, I believe. Yeah, if I recall.
Oh, you're into hip hop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And wait, did most of the rapping happen from you in America, right?
I was, yeah.
Wait, which part?
Miami.
That's where all the crazy people are.
Something like that. I mean, yeah, it's a very eclectic city. So like you've got a lot of like big Latin population, mostly Cubans,
a lot of drugs
as well. I never ever saw any drugs.
Okay, let me give you this phrase and tell me how you think it will end. A Florida man.
Okay. I think of an alligator and the Everglades.
No, but my point is the minute that you hear the beginning of a sentence and it says a Florida man, nothing good
Follows that.
follows that.
Yeah, probably.
Am I lying?
Yeah, it's usually related to drugs or
No, crazy things.
trafficking or
That's normal shit.
crazy things. A Florida man.
Having sex with an alligator.
How does that even happen? How does that work?
Bruh. There are thugs out here. You thought you were Billy Badass.
Is he dead?
Okay, so you went to America?
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
7 years.
That's a lifetime.
Yes, long enough, man. Long enough.
What were you doing there?
First school, then I worked there.
And I hear the food in America especially is very bland.
It's mostly, it's like heavily processed. So like when a lot of times when like Americans visit a place like Zambia, they really love our steak, our food. Yeah, I guess it's much richer. It's much richer.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Well, what were we studying in America again?
Econ.
Huh. Okay. And then you worked there. Is this where the bug bit you? Hip hop, rapping, releasing songs?
No, actually, it started when I was younger. Here, when I was growing up, man. When I was young, I was like a big Nas fan, and so back then I was super into like the classic hip hop, the Illmatic, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that was like a childhood passion of mine. I used to write my rhymes in my little rhyme book, and yeah, that's where it started for me.
We lost that battle.
I mean, it's never too late.
I say we because I'm a Jay-Z fan. And I do acknowledge
I see.
that we got our ass handed to us.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad. An honest Jay-Z fan for once.
Yeah. No, we lost. We lost.
So the moment you heard Ether, you're just like,
I was like, I know it. Listen.
It's been a good fight, but...
No, yeah, that one.
That was brutal. And you know, it's so funny. We were debating some of the most famous hip hop beefs, and it's crazy because the Gen Zs now only sort of got into it with the whole Kendrick and Drake.
Yeah.
But I remember back then when there was no Vaseline, that was Ice Cube, and who was it again?
Ice Cube was
when they released No Vaseline. Is that what you're googling?
Yeah.
You're lying. You're checking out your messages.
Oh, I'm trying to think.
No Vaseline, Ice Cube.
I forgot who he was going at. What do you think? In your opinion, what was the greatest rap hop battle? Yeah.
I mean, the most relevant for me is the Jay-Z Nas, right? Like that's
over Tupac and Biggie.
Oof, the thing about Tupac and Biggie, that was like real life as well. So it was like hectic. You know what I mean? It wasn't just hip hop. It was like.
Then there was 15 Ja Rule.
Yeah, I thought that one was weak.
That turned into fist fights, brother.
Yeah.
What do you know?
I'm talking about the lyrical content. I thought that one was weak.
Yeah, for me, Jay-Z, Nas, that's like...
Jay-Z, Nas, it's just two rappers who, when they can utter a sentence, they can have 3 layers to it. You know what I mean?
But you know, part of the problem, in my opinion, that Jay-Z faced is the fact that Jay-Z went and did proper research. If you listen to Takeover,
yeah.
some of the stuff that he said in Takeover, like where he says he admits to stealing Nas's rhyme, and he says, I know who I paid, Searchlight Publishing. So he says, I paid people to take your rhymes from you. So I went to your record label, I paid the money, and they gave me rights to it. But when you listen to it on the surface, you'll be like, so what is he talking about? But only the people that are in the beef know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think that was MC Search's record label owned the rights to...
Bingo. Yeah. And Jay-Z mentions that, but like the average person will be like, I don't know what he's...
Oh, yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah, no, that was... For me, that's the beef par excellence.
And the Jay-Z thing, Kendrick Lamar, Drake.
The thing is, the Kendrick wiped the floor with Drake.
Easy.
It was very one-sided.
To a point where this white boy is now crying to the courts.
So my interpretation, I don't think the two are necessarily related. I think
they are.
I don't think so. I don't know.
The court issue and the beef? The basis of the lawsuit is he said, you guys let this guy call me a pedophile.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one. Then 2, he's accusing them of boosting his music by using bots, etc. But the fact that Kendrick called him a pedophile is part of the lawsuit.
Yeah, it is part of. But I don't know, because the whole narrative is that like because he lost, that's why he's suing.
Because he lost.
I don't know. I feel like he's using it as an excuse. Right, like I think he's been beefing with his label for some time, and I think he's using it as an excuse to say, okay, if I can slap them with some defamation, slap them with some. I think for me, that's.
You do have a point. I think you do have a point, but I think it's a bitch move to ask me.
Yeah, I mean lawsuits and stuff is it's not very hip hop, so everybody's against it.
And he's proving the point. You are not like us.
Yeah, definitely. He's completely played into it. He's walked into it.
Yeah. You never shared any talking points, nigga. You're sitting there with a mouthful of teeth.
I'm listening to the conversation. I'm enjoying this. I love when you have somebody who can agree to what you say about Kendrick, and
you don't agree?
He gets so consumed. I'm a Drake fan, so
no. Funny thing is, I'm a Drake fan too, but Drake lost.
When it comes to the beef, but
lost.
I think overall, when it comes to sales and music and whatever, I think Drake is still,
Yes, because he flip-flops.
Yeah, he would do house music.
That's precisely my
R&B.
Right, that's precisely the point. He does.
Commercially, Drake, of course, will forever be the most successful guy.
You can't touch him.
Yeah, I know you can't touch him.
As far as that is concerned. But the fact that you flip-flop, tomorrow, if you want to do house, then you do house. And if, I don't know, Taylor Swift fans...
His casque on your vest.
Yeah, that's the only reason why.
I'm a piano, hip-hop, I'm a piano.
There was a time that he even did some dancehall.
Drake, which one?
Yeah. Controller. Controller and all that.
Oh, Controller. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's dancehall.
Yeah.
And then you dabble in so many things. You're not just a hip-hop artist. Of course, like you did econ at school, let's say Miami. Yeah. And now we're here in farming as well.
Yeah, I do a little bit of...
What are you farming?
I've got some goats. Yeah.
Many moons ago, many episodes ago, did I not sit here and tell people to do goat farming and you guys looked at me like he doesn't know what he's talking about?
I'm a believer.
Where's Gob?
Who looked at you funny like?
You did.
How? I believe in goat farming. What do you mean?
Okay.
I'm a believer.
Anyway.
I'm a believer. Still learning, but I'm a believer.
How many so far?
About 100.
Damn.
That's a lot.
Where's your farm?
Basically, like, I guess that's Chongwei.
Okay. I only learned about the hip hop and artistry side of you just now.
Yeah.
Because when we met, all we had was a purely
business related
discussion. Yeah. Which we still need to revisit.
Yeah.
So seeing this side to you is pretty different. And I don't know if you knew about the podcast, because I came to you purely on work, and you were recommended to me. What's the guy's name again?
Sam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, by Sam. Mm-hmm. You came highly recommended.
Yeah.
What was the recommendation?
He's a good guy.
About?
If you must know,
I want to.
Kalenga, I'm trying to raise 10 million kwacha.
And Chanda's giving it to you.
Sam gave me 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the 4 people.
And he gave you...
I'm not going to tell you that. Why do you want to count my pockets?
How much did you give him?
Why do you want to count my pockets? The first thing after that meeting that we did was sign an NDA.
So none of you are going to disclose any amounts here?
Of course not.
So, but this is your company, Zfin. This is someone that's financing all these 10 million kwaches all over the place.
No. That's I'm a board member there.
But that's the one that's...
No.
There's another separate company, your own company that's financing these. Yeah. So how much can I borrow from you?
We can talk. We can discuss.
I want 11 million kwacha.
We can discuss.
Your numbers, Baba.
Yeah.
We can discuss.
Your numbers, Baba. Have you done it before?
I don't even know what I need 11 million kwacha for right now.
No.
I'll probably end up buying a Maybach.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying whatever business that you have, is it new or you've been trading?
No, I don't need that much.
Whatever it is, even if it's 5,000 kwacha, is it a new business or have you been trading?
We have been trading.
You have, so you do have past financial records?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so you can justify if you get 5,000 kwacha, how you're going to pay that back?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
It's not you, Kalenga. It's everybody else who's listening. I'm just using you
as an example.
As a platform.
As a conduit to deliver the message.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So what would you want? A loan?
No, just a grant.
This nigga.
Why not?
There you go.
What?
No, it's cool. Hey, listen, tata my chance. More power to you. You can, nothing's impossible. I'm sure you can get it.
That means Chanda. We go to the same gym, so I'll use that. Bro, we go to the same gym. Give me 5 million.
Have you been to the gym lately?
No, more than 2 weeks.
I think it's more than 2 weeks, actually, sir.
Yeah. It's showing, eh?
For someone that made fun of me of not going to the gym often. As you were.
You don't look fat now.
Yes, you do, actually.
I think it's a t-shirt. It's thick.
It's okay. We can call it the t-shirt.
Anyway, Chanda.
Yeah, yes, sir.
When it comes to, when I look at the Zambian hip hop scene, the time you were there, you talk about you won that award 2017.
16, yeah, when I first
Do
came
you
back.
really feel, based off how things flowed then, 2017, and now it's almost going to almost 10 years, are we evolving in terms of hip hop in this country?
That's a good question. I'd say yes.
Don't lie.
No, I'd say yes. I think that the challenge that we have is also like a macro challenge. I feel like hip hop as a genre
Right.
is not at its height. So like I feel like there's a lot of exodus into Afrobeat, a lot of exodus into Amapiano. So hip hop, I would say, is not necessarily the dominant genre. So whilst we are evolving, I just feel like the spotlight has also waned on hip hop as a genre in general.
Did you ever play any of his music?
Yeah, I did.
When you were
actually,
did you?
on radio? Yeah, I did.
Was it
I think the same song. Not really popular. I think you're not really pushing your music that much when you used to do music. Were you?
Yeah, I guess it's all relative. I mean, I would say that like it's certainly like a thematic in terms of the type of music I do. It's been like a narrative in Zambian hip hop that, you know, you even be told, no, this type of hip hop can't blow. I mean, you're aware of this, right? So on one hand, I hear what you're saying, right? Because you can always do more. But on the other hand,
Right.
there is also this, right? This undercurrent about what type of music you do.
Because I mean, there was a large demographic feeling like you were trying to bring American hip hop to Zambian. Your hip hop wasn't quite Zambian enough to be called Zambian hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some people felt that way, yeah.
How would
Go ahead.
how would you have described it yourself?
No, I was going to say, like, so my experience of this, right? Because it was a question I was always asked, like, oh, how do you feel about this? Because you rap in English, etc. Like, what's like, you know, what are your goals? Or do you think you can have any impact in Zambia? And I said, well, to be honest, my perception of events is different from yours in the sense that I believe it went a lot further than I expected. So I actually didn't expect, like, when I came back to Zambia, I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to do music because this can't work. So for me, just any recognition, I mean, what was interesting for me was when my music crossed to South Africa and I started charting on radio in South Africa, started charting on Trace Urban, Trace, all these like TV channels. I had a top 10 video on all these channels. And that's when I knew, okay, I've got something here. So my experience is different from your perception.
How did you even get into it? What inspired you to get into it?
Hip hop? Mm-hmm. Oh, just like I said, being young, and I think it was an interesting time when, back then, obviously the internet and social media wasn't what it is today. It was like not even there. So everything was TV. So you're watching TV, whether it's MTV or whatever was available back then on DSTV, and the young black people that looked like you were, either basketball or rap, so right. Somehow you identified and connected with them. And I did both. I played basketball and I rapped. And so, yeah, I guess it's that thing of being a youth in that time, being exposed to international media. So I'd say that's how I grew a passion for it.
Speaking of passion, do you still rap in the background somewhere?
Yeah, definitely as a passion, but nowadays it's a lot more finance in my life. But yeah,
because hip hop won't bring any finance in your life.
And not as much as I'd like, probably.
He's got a pretty good team.
Sorry?
He's got a pretty good team.
When the finance thing, business.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good team.
I'm really curious about this 10 million kwacha.
What are you curious about?
I just want to cut.
From who?
From you.
For what?
Just friendship fee.
Yeah, you guys are tight, huh?
Not that tight.
You're charging friendship fees.
Draw the line somewhere. This nigga loves to. I swear to God, if you're a woman, Jesus, I know who you would be. I know right now who you would be. If you're a chick,
Next up the episode, say name. Someone who heard something from someone.
You married him, Dada.
This person was very.
Why you want to rock my boat?
That's the craziest thing you've ever heard about yourself.
That one's probably one of them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is this the first time that you heard about it?
Yeah. I mean,
Congratulations, Kalengas. You.
Thank you for blowing.
Hey, listen, people talk and.
First week, Dada.
Bruh.
I want to
give you some time.
Well, at least let me clock a year or something.
And I mean, you're gonna do a lot of messing up on your own. Give her the opportunity to F up. I don't know why people this early. What's the craziest thing about yourself that you've heard?
Funny, the craziest thing I've heard about myself, you were involved as well.
Leave me out of it. Leave me out of
Just charging my friendship fee, man.
I know, right?
My friendship fee.
What, and you, what's the craziest thing you've heard about yourself?
a lot, hey?
The craziest.
Funny, the craziest things that I heard about myself, you were involved too.
Yeah, you guys, you need to have some time to discuss.
And it came from someone who heard from someone, and I'm like, eh? So you people actually sit.
Now, let's flip it the other way. What's the craziest thing you've heard about me?
Why are we doing this? I told you, I called you and I told you.
Oh, yeah, you did, actually.
You remember?
Yeah.
I know guys drop. You're dropping on me. You have to drop on yourself too.
Yeah, anyway, let's swiftly move. Before we, but then there's, okay, let me leave it.
Which one were you about to drop?
No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You are a very well-respected man in these streets. So how's the finance? Would you get back into music? Or do you feel like where you are right now is where you want to focus on? Do you want to do this part-time?
Yeah, no, I'd say like I do want to focus, and there's a lot to do. So I've learned a lot, like, even in our discussion, learning about kind of some of the things that you've done and you've achieved. Every day I'm exposed to like a different industry.
Right.
And you're basically trying to figure out, okay, how does what I know in finance or what I'm trying to offer fit into this industry, and which industries have the strongest fit. So it requires a lot of time, a lot of engagement.
It does.
So yeah, I think for me, that's an area I do want to spend a lot.
And did you notice that the president spoke about that industry that I'm in today?
Oh, no, I didn't hear the
about
address
how much it brought in last year. Nearly 500 billion kwacha.
Billion?
Yeah, with a B.
That's what, mobile money.
I believe that for sure.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
I mean, if you look at the stats, like the past 5 years, I don't know if
the trajectory has just been,
it's 20 times. So if you go 5 years ago to this past year, I don't think I've seen anything grow
that quickly, right?
Maybe Bitcoin, I guess. I haven't really tracked it that close.
But you know what's crazy is because a lot of Zambians are unbanked.
Yeah.
Right. Because when you go to South Africa, for example, you don't have a lot of mobile money. Fintech is not as popular in that area. But when you begin to
imagine a mobile money booth in South Africa,
I can't imagine it.
You see what I mean?
In fact, if ever there is one, I'm telling you, the police will raid that because there's drugs being sold in.
Oh, damn.
They'll be like, you're doing what here? Mobile, nigga, just bring the drugs out. Why are we doing this cat and mouse?
You can't have a mobile money business in South Africa, brother. With that booth, the suspicion of you even having just a 1,000 rand in that booth, it's gone.
I know he wants to know more about music, but on the finance side, if somebody comes to you with a business idea and they want financing, like at this point you've developed muscle memory. What are your go-tos? So number one, to see if it's viable or not, and number two, like in terms of red flags, as an investor, do you look at it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm happy to share. I mean, I think there's obviously a lot of things. Obviously, like you say, it helps to be in an industry where you've got what I'd call tailwinds instead of headwinds, right? You don't want to be going into something where the overall market is just so challenging that you have to be so exceptional to succeed, right? Whereas like the industry we've been discussing, the growth trend is in your favor. So obviously that's a good box to tick, right? Is that you're working in an industry that has very strong growth dynamics. Then obviously I think you care a lot about the who. So have you worked in this industry for some time? Have you proven yourself either through other ventures, like working at a larger company, or doing it on your own,
right?
So just the strength of your execution capabilities. Right. Have you shown evidence? Another one that like maybe is a little less obvious, but is a consideration, I'd say, especially in Zambia. I'd say it's always a good indicator when someone has skin in the game, meaning they've put their own money.
There you go. Yeah. Yes. Because then it shows how much you believe in your own.
Exactly. Right. As opposed to a lot of people pitch a business and they want to do it no money down. Right. Like this person's money, this person's money, none of my own money. I would say that's a bad sign.
A red flag.
Yeah. And then also I think someone who maybe lives a little too large versus their business is also a bit of a red flag, because then your concern is this money purely for business purposes?
Finding your lifestyle, or
right. So I'd say those are some off the top of my head. There's obviously more. Like, I get into numbers. I'm a numbers guy, so numbers are a big deal. It's always good if the founder or the CEO doesn't get the numbers like really strong, which it's always best if they do. It's at least their co-founder and their CFO should
be able to.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And what kind of businesses do you feel you might want to lean into equity more than a loan or a joint venture, and the other way around? Where would you say, okay, this I'm not going to give you as a loan, but I want equity, and this I don't want any part of your business. I'm just going to give you a loan and my money back. How do you
differentiate?
Yeah.
I'd say that businesses that maybe lend themselves better to debt are businesses that, one, obviously you have to be like post-revenue, as they call it, right? Meaning you already are creating money. You already have like a source of revenue. You have cash coming into the business. And maybe you have some level of maturity as far as your business is concerned. In that instance, oftentimes there's a lack of desire for equity on both sides, in the sense that the founder doesn't want to give up anything, right? Exactly. And then you may not necessarily, especially in the case of, let's say, a family-run business or even a sole trader, or like, a smaller going concern, there might be like governance considerations that would make you a little bit averse to putting equity. Right. So you'd be like, look, this business has got a good thing going. There's still like a lot of like systems they'd have to put in place to become the type of business we'd really want to take a bet on. But there's clearly a source of cash. So happy to like ring fence the transaction and give you something that helps you increase that cash, and then pay me back, without necessarily getting married. Right. So that's what I would say.
Just in addition to Elson's question, I'm sure a lot of people come to you for finance, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure, and I think I heard a bit of this from Vusi Tembekwayo when he spoke about a lot of the times the mistake that us Africans are making is we're not having a lot of our books, documents in order when we're going to get finance. What do you think is a common mistake that many Zambians make before they come to you for finance? Like, what should we prepare ourselves with?
Let me answer you as well.
Right.
And then he comes to you. What you've said was me.
Okay.
I met Enrich Buye.
Yeah, I remember that conversation, yeah.
Asked me 3 questions. Asked for 2 documents. I didn't have that. Because at that point, though my business was a year into existence, and though we were operational, it would get to a point where one person would call me and say, we need $5,000 for this, and you send it. We need $2,000 for this, and you'd send it, right? There's no bookkeeping at all. I know how much money I've sent to you. When it comes down to it, I'm the one that is accountable for everything, right? So no one will hold me accountable to anything. So when it then got to the point where you now need those books, I didn't have them.
And I think,
right. So a lot of what I've realized is when you are starting out, you don't have any records that you keep. Only up until you either want to get funding or you want to bring a partner in and they want to look at your balance sheet, your cash flows, and everything else, do you then realize, oh, snap, you know what? I don't have any of those. So that was one of the biggest mistakes that I did. And so when I then began speaking to people and they began asking me for these documents over and over again, did I then begin to take this seriously and begin to put everything that I needed, even started going back and capturing some of the past records, right? So just to answer your question, because I still would want you to answer it, is that's one of the things that I've realized people, when they are starting off small, is that you buy gas, you pay rentals, whatever it is that involves your company, keep those records.
There's no receipts, no requisitions.
None, zero. What do you face?
Yeah. What are the most common ones? Ooh. Just to remind you of the question, the most common ones that Zambians come with, and you're like, why are Zambians continuously making this mistake?
No, I guess the common one, I mean, it's almost a cliche, to be honest, but it's like running personal expenses through company finances, right? That's a very common one that I'm sure you've seen or have experience with. So I'd say that, like, you know, if I would give one piece of advice to Zambian entrepreneurs, I'd say if you can find a way to separate, better. You're better off just like literally putting yourself on a salary, right? And say, decide how much is enough. And just every month at the same time, that amount goes out as a salary.
But then again, how do I know? Well, let's say my business is making 20,000 kwacha in profits. Yeah. And I want to pay rentals. I want to pay my kids' school fees. Yeah. And
if your business, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. The profit is 20,000 kwacha, right? I should put some of that back in the business. I should have a salary from that. How do I decide what to pay myself, what to put back in the business? How does it work for you who's in the business? How would you advise me who's starting a business?
So, I mean, a lot of times we think of things from a finance perspective as percentage of revenue, right? So all your costs or all, you know, including salary, staff costs should have an allowable percent that they constitute of your revenue, right? So if in this case you're 20,000 profit, so meaning, I guess
that's not what your turnover is. So possibly your turnover will be 60,000, and then you're making 20,000 profit.
Yeah. So technically your salary is a cost on the business, right?
Okay.
So 20,000, I guess what you're saying is that's your profit, but not including your salary, right?
Right.
So I would go back up and go back, like he's saying, to the turnover and say, you know, based on this turnover, I'm comfortable with maybe 10% of the turnover going as an expense to salaries. So in this case, like you're saying, if it's 60,000, that would be 6K, and say, look, I have to fit my expenses in this 6K. And then that would leave you with 14K of profit, right? So that's the perspective or the framework that I use.
And then how do I decide when to enjoy money from my business? You know what I mean? There's that, of course, we're talking about that being like the monthly revenue, the monthly profits.
Yeah.
Do I save some of that money? Then at the end of the year, we say, okay, listen, the company made this. We can now enjoy this, enjoy a holiday. How do you calculate what I can enjoy at the end of a year?
Yeah, sure.
Financial year.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah. I mean, generally, I'd say if you're doing it per best practices, you'd want to, I mean, one, I'd say if you can, right? Obviously, every business is at like a different life cycle, and we could be talking from like micro, you know.
Let's go micro, because many of us are on the micro stage. Yeah.
Okay. No, in that case, I mean, because how that normally works is how you would think about it is as a dividend. So as a you're a shareholder in the business,
right,
aside from working in the business. So you, in short, you eat twice. You eat a salary because you put your labor in the business.
And then quarterly.
Exactly.
When dividends kick in.
Exactly. And you just, again, it would be a similar approach but in this case with the dividend, you decided based on the profit, because typically dividends are only distributed from like profit after tax, as they call it.
Right.
So it's, yeah.
And then a lot of us, and I think the culture is very different from where you did school from. The Americans, those are like the kings of scale.
Yeah.
Then there's very little scale in Africa, in Zambia. Yeah. What mistake are we making in our failure to scale?
Knowing when to scale.
Okay. In your opinion?
Some people want to scale too quickly.
Okay.
And you also need to know if your business is scalable and the kind of business that you're into. So I feel like knowing when to scale is just as important as well.
And in your opinion?
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point. I mean, I'd also say there's also some structural issues, right? Structural issues in the sense that, for example, if you take Zambia, this country is the size of, using an American analogy, the size of Texas. Maybe double the size of France, and we have 20 million people, right? So just like from a density perspective, certain businesses, again, speaking to the idea of tailwinds, right? Certain businesses just won't scale in a comparative manner to some of the markets that we're familiar with. So I think picking your industry correctly, like, so, you know, this conversation that we've had about mobile money as an example, that's an area where there's a unique opportunity for scale given the sheer density of transactions and volumes. But there's not necessarily many things like that in our environment. So I think that there's some structural considerations, right? And I remember once I spoke with a venture capitalist. He sits in South Africa, and we were talking about Fintech, right? And talking about, you know, financial services businesses in Zambia. And he said, look, us as a venture capital firm, they're a global firm. He's like, but it would be very hard for us to come look at a Zambian business. You know what I mean? He's like, more likely it has to be a business that maybe has started in Zambia, but has a very clear roadmap to how it's going to expand regionally. Right. So I think that that's another thing that as Zambian business people, etc., we need to be maybe more embracing of this idea of, okay, how do I make this a Pan-African business? You know, not necessarily be so local in our
thinking.
Yes, in our aspirations.
And to add to that as well. So going back to fintech and mobile money, there's different aspects to it, and there's different levels to it. So there's obviously the level where you could have 10,000 and you open up a booth and you're customer facing. You could be a person who says, I'm going to get 10 booths and employ 10 people and they all work for me, etc. You could be a company which then manages all those agents. So in proximity to the MNO, you begin to run their operations, for example. Or on the tech side, you can then see that, okay, so we have Zanaco, for example, because Zanaco is now in fintech with Zanaco Express agents. And they are having issues with the network that they have because of the technology. So if I create a software that is now able to link all their Zanaco Express agents, which can tell them that Kalenga is an agent, but based off his behavior, he most likely will run out of float or money by 1 PM. And it will send a trigger to whoever manages Kalenga to say, Kalenga has now dipped low. That now transcends borders because now you can take that outside Zambia, because take that to Kenya and give it to M-Pesa. They're already big on it, but now you're giving them another solution. Take that to Uganda, take that to Eswatini, even take that to SA, where you've got Capitec and they have got a network of systems, etc. So all that is basically what you're speaking into, which is don't just think in the bubble of where you are, but see how best you are able to grow. You know that there's an agent, for example. I was about to say something that I want to do, which I'm going to speak to you about. But
the money is coming?
No. How do I get a notification that money has just been taken out of my account and I'm sitting here?
The money's going the other way.
I've been sitting here. Have you seen me swipe?
It's probably a late notification. It happens. I get those as well. Sometimes I'm like, wait.
No, who did you give the card to? Is the question.
That's my wallet.
Which lady has your card?
You know what I mean? These bachelors.
No, you even said my car wasn't locked when you saw me.
Yeah.
I hope my wallet is in my car. So it was too late to lock now, but sorry, I hope I didn't like go off on a tangent, but I feel that that too is I don't know what your opinion is.
For me, sorry,
go ahead,
still the same question. I think for me that also begs the question: when do you scale? How do you know when to scale? Yeah, to take the business to the next level.
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel
like when you get more demand.
Yeah, exactly. You'll feel the strain in the business, I think. Right. Like, and I've seen a few times with the businesses that I've worked with, advised or funded. Yeah, you see the strain. Like, for example, a founder who's just so busy that they're on the phone. There's the truck is down. And they're just like doing 1,000 things at once. You're like, this guy needs to probably, put a bit more capital into the business because he's got more demand than he can keep up with. Right. So the signs are typically there. And then, like he says, I think it's demand driven. You'll feel it in the business most of the times.
Yes, it can be demand driven, but a lot of times you find Zambians won't really scale. Our mindset.
I get your question.
You know what I mean?
And
the demand will be there, but the person just doesn't see that they need to scale. You know what I mean?
I see.
What's up? What's wrong with us? Because a lot of businesses that are really scaling in this country are foreign owned. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or a different skin color that takes a business to a whole different level.
Yeah.
What's wrong with our culture? In your opinion, you who's traveled?
That's a good question. I mean, there's this idea that they talk about a lot in finance. They call it's sometimes called the missing middle.
Okay.
Right. So it's this idea that, and there's a guy who used to say this quite a lot, and he was in real estate, but you'll find this, I think, in a lot of industries where, at least from a financial or capital perspective, businesses which are, call it, say, 0 to 10 or need $0 to $10 million of funding, right? Those businesses, for the most part, can function pretty well in the local environment. As soon as, let's say demand outpaces them, or there's need for additional capital expenditure investment, etc. Now you're talking $10 to $20 million of investment, right? Now that 10 to 20 is very hard to get in the local environment, right? So sometimes the reason why you see the foreign businesses scaling better is because that 10 to 20
is where they are now.
And because
they're coming
they
to your
have
country.
networks. Exactly. Right. And they call, maybe they're a sister company of a business that's open in West Africa already.
Right.
They're just one branch of this. And they say, okay, toss us whatever, 10, 15 million to expand in this geography. So you're seeing it as, wow, these guys are amazing entrepreneurs, are scaling. They are, but also it's a function of sometimes the capital story is that we have that 10 to 20, and it's arguable, it's hard to fund locally. The only institutions that could write a check that large are like the government run pension funds, etc., who have that kind of capital, and they need the highest level of diligence, and there's a lot that you'd have to do. It's not really a micro business is not going to go get funding from a pension.
I think for me that's where travel comes in as very important. Your environment shapes you a lot, and if you're spending more time in an environment where people are not really scaling, you're also gonna, you said, stuck in that bubble. I'll give an example of I can't remember who was giving a speech in South Africa at some conference, but he was talking about how in his neighborhood in the 80s, his grandfather had owned a grocery store. I think this is like 1974.
Okay.
The grandfather opened a grocery store. And by the time the grandfather was dying, like in 1994, 20 years later, the grandfather had grown his business to 2 grocery stores in the same neighborhood in Soweto, right? In 1974, Chris Tooz and them started ShopRite. Sorry, is it early 70s? Sorry. They started ShopRite. And look at where it was in 1994. So saying, is it because this guy was raised in an environment, the ShopRite guy, where everybody's opening Pep stores and it's growing, they open Ackermans and it's growing. So because you're seeing that, you're seeing more of that, you sort of have that mindset as well. But in the black communities, we have so much of, let's just open something to feed myself and my family. You know what I mean?
So I'm on the fence about it.
Okay. Your thoughts?
If you look at Tony, how do I pronounce his last name? UBA guy.
Melu. Tony Melu.
You know, I was a branch manager.
Yes, I remember. I've watched his story. Yeah.
How many branch managers do we have?
All over the place.
All over the place. Yeah. How many have a vision to start their own bank?
1.
So my point is, yes, you might have started in an environment where there aren't too many people that are doing it, but it's also your hunger and your ambition and everything else. So if you want to find an excuse to not scale and blame poverty and you get all the reasons in the world. But then again, you can point to people who did not have anything and who are on the same level that you are. How many people, I'll give you as an example. How many people do you know that run their own, say, production company that started off with the background that you have? Do you have reasons and excuses to give for you to have stayed, I don't know, wherever you are, as just a DJ, you are called, hey, can you come and spin records here?
Right.
You go, you spin records, you go back home. So that's what I said. I'm kind of on the fence.
I know, and I hear you. I hear why you're on the fence. But my pushback to that as well would be, if we look at averages, you'll find there's more people scaling in the white community than in the black community. Why is that?
Because there's
that one Tony Alumelu.
There has been systems in place that have favored one race over the other. We know this already.
So if as black people, we know that, why can't we learn how the white community has done it? Or the Indian community, or the Arabic community. Look at Big Tree Beverages Limited. How long has it been in existence? They're now in South Africa. They're in Tanzania, Malawi, Zimbabwe.
I know we've got a guest and I would want him to speak. But the other thing as well, I saw this documentary that was done by Killer Mike.
Right.
Where he did an experiment to see if I want to be able to spend 24 hours by consuming black-owned services. Can I be able to do that? He slept in the park on that day.
That's where? In a park.
In a park, yes.
But that park wasn't owned by a black man.
That park wasn't owned by a black man.
No, because the lodges and the hotels were not.
Yeah.
I forgot the reason why he really couldn't. I don't know if it's that they couldn't swipe or whatever the issue.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
The only wanted cash. I forgot what it was. But then there's also a study where if you give a black person $100,
It will end up in the white community.
it took all of 5 minutes to be in the white community. If you give an Asian $100,
It'll stay in that community.
for a lot longer. So to answer your question, it is about the values that these people instill within their own communities to support each other. If you're the uncle, if you're the son of, I don't know, 4 or 5 generations down the line, the fact that they knew your great grandfather is the reason why they're going to support your business.
And I think black people are just wired differently. Yeah.
But kids, you say that they want to be loyal, right?
Where's bring that mic. It's the yeah. Yeah. My kids, they keep changing doctors. I think they're in the mood to become lawyers this week.
It's because I'm hungry.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, let's go.
You know what I'm saying? Your kids, you said that you want them to be loyal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so look at it in this way. You spent almost all your life into the entertainment industry, right?
Right.
You're the podfather of Zambia. If your kid picks up this production company, don't you think they'll be bigger than you? But yet
Actually, yeah.
they reach that level, you take them to another field.
No, not really. Not necessarily. It might not necessarily be bigger than him.
But like, that's how the Indian community works. You find that
Oh, you're training them to take over the business.
The business.
And grow it.
and growing it.
Trade Kings is a good example.
Exactly.
So are you saying that in this instance, he should tell his kids not to be lawyers?
No.
They should be entertainers
Teach
to
them.
take over where I'm going to
Exactly.
go.
Like train them to take over from you. That's how the Indian community grows.
I hear you, but now I feel like that's a slippery slope now because now they're not following their passion. They're now following the family.
Business.
No, but passion is what you give them. Like
I don't think you give
no.
passion, man.
Children are a blank slate. So if you teach them to say this is the best you can ever do, they'll eventually grow
Here's the
into
point.
it.
Yeah,
Here's the point.
I think you have a great point.
I don't agree.
No, hold case study. Trade Kings.
No.
You know, Big Tree Beverages.
I don't agree. Yes, children are a blank slate. We've seen so many instances where a parent will say, you're either going to be an engineer, you're either going to be a lawyer, you're either going to be a pilot. But that person wants to do what Nkandayadu does and put clothes together. Nobody in their family has ever done that. They're the first. Where did that come from?
My way of
I
thinking.
don't necessarily think or agree that the passion is instilled in them by their parents. It's in the stuff that they inherently enjoy doing. We've seen so many people who go to university and say, I want to be a lawyer. A year into it, they'll be like, guys, though I'm studying law, something kept pulling me to the arts. I would go into the arts class. I would enjoy
Best
it.
example, Gracious Kalma.
I would enjoy it regardless of what my parents have paid fee. So now they have to have that difficult conversation with their parents. Say, listen, I know you've paid 2 years into this law school.
That was me, bruh. That was me.
You see?
Yeah.
So that's where I disagree with you on.
No, but
Okay, but Gob's point, the Indian community. Yes, you may have a grocery store. You're found there every day. Your child will come there every day. I think if you have like 5 children on average, at least one is going to show interest.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one that you nurture to take over the family business, which is what I think happened in the case of Trade Kings. Remember, Trade Kings opens and the son opens Big Tree Beverages Limited, and look at how big both of them are now today. You know what I mean? If they show interest in entertainment, which I was shocked, my first one, because
Which one?
in Kisu at home.
Oh,
My
is that the
daughter.
first one?
Sorry? The first one at home. My daughter. So last week they were told to tell us, the parents, to buy them cell phones. I'm like, guess what? Yeah. So we're supposed to buy them cell phones because, you remember, I told you they do coding at their school. So they're doing robotics this term, and they have to buy cell phones because they're going to be coding on the phones and controlling the robot via Bluetooth. So you write the code on your phone, and then you instruct the robots to do whatever. Yeah. So I bought her a Samsung phone last week, A16. Tell me why, within a matter of hours.
Techno.
Sorry? Oh yeah, I bought her a Techno. I'll explain.
Don't fumble the bag.
I know, right? So I bought her a Techno Camon 40. I bought her a phone. I gave it to her it was on a Friday. They're not quite on a Friday.
Yeah.
It's like around midday.
Yeah.
So I gave it to the mother. The mother does all these
Parental
YouTube parental issues, Gmail parental issues, and whatever, and handed over the phone to her with all these parental issues done. It's like around 2 p.m. By 7 p.m., this young girl brings a whole reel of her acting with herself.
Oh, okay.
She's there, 2 images of herself on the screen, and she's acting as herself and as her mother. Why haven't you made the bed? No, mommy, I woke up a bit late. But I always tell you, when you get on the bed, make the bed. And she grabs the slipper and slaps herself. I'm like, wait, how did you do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, wait, am I supposed to be nurturing a filmmaker here?
You know what it is? So here's the thing.
I don't know how to do that. Then she did it in an afternoon. You know what I mean?
No, so here's the best way that I can, because I see the same thing in Eli.
Right.
All right, I put parental controls, and it has sent to me. Let me show you something. I've put one that you pay for.
Okay.
A parental control on my son. He's 8 years old.
Yeah.
It'll tie into what you say. Say again?
My daughter is 8 as well.
Take a look at this. Please give it to Kalenga.
I might need that as well.
Read that.
Child won't be able to delete ping.
No, read.
Removal attempt.
The removal attempt.
He's tried 103 times to remove this. Nigga won't give up. The third time you're supposed to give up. You know what I mean?
100 times he's tried to remove it.
What if you want to see?
I need the software. Snitching on the homies.
So basically, the reason why I'm telling you this is, what generation are we raising? Is it Gen Alpha?
Yeah.
Beta, alpha, one of the two.
They are growing up in a world where this is all they know.
Yeah.
We were in a generation where I think we're the only generation that experienced pre-internet and post-internet, and the internet, right? Since they were born, that's all they know.
Yeah.
If you give them a VCR, they'll be puzzled the way that at times you are puzzled when you want to figure out TikTok trends. But if you give them like a CD player, which you know inside out, they'll be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
So we then look at them like, these kids, they'll take us out one day, but since they were born, they're 8 years old.
That's all they know.
That's all they know.
How would you're newlywed and you're in business. Speaking of scalability.
Do you have any kids?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of scalability, would you want the kids to take over the business? Would you raise them in a way that their only option is to grow that business after you?
So, I mean, I think he has a great point. So, I don't think he's saying that that's the only way you should do it. Mm-hmm. But I think what he's saying is that when you look at the communities that are successful, they have a slightly different approach, right? So I think he paints a good characterization, right? Like historically, especially when you think of our parents' generation, they were, I obviously don't know about your personal circumstances, but a lot of that generation achieved success in the professional class. Yeah. So they were the first person to go to university in their family, the first,
Start working for ZCM in the mines.
Right? And that worked for them, right?
Right.
But as soon as they got on, because of the way they got on, they were obviously quite interested in being kind of risk managers and saying, okay, what professions can I encourage this kid to do? It doesn't necessarily need to be my profession, but it needs to be a safe profession.
Risk averse.
Yes. Risk aversion is something that, one, I think it's a cultural issue we struggle with, but also to his point, I think we're not big succession planners. Mm. So we're not generally we're not ownership minded, and we don't think, okay, if I own this thing, how do I then the word that's often used is perpetuate this thing, right? We don't think like that. Even oftentimes when we have businesses, we're like spending all the money in the business and not thinking, okay, I should leave this in here.
Bingo.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's just a thing we struggle with culturally.
Wait, leave this in here? What do you mean?
like in the company, right?
Okay.
So to compound and to grow, because if you're like that 20,000 profit we spoke about,
put it back in the
exactly business. Right. We oftentimes will eat it as we say, right?
We say, yeah.
But I kind of agree with him that if we were not necessarily in a draconian fashion, like all you kids can only do this, but if you're like, hey, this is the business I do, and I would love for one of you, right? Like you say, especially when there's 5, the probability is hopefully in your favor that 1 or 2 of them take an interest. So certainly I would like for a situation where I could pass on something. In the very least, my aspiration is, in the very least, you should be able to give your kids a job.
Very least.
Yeah. Or say, okay, look.
At the most succession.
Say, look, at least if your thing is marketing, come and do marketing
in my company.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If your thing is exactly, come and do it in my company. So that's how I look at it personally.
And I'll always go back to Big Tree as the example, Big Tree and Trade Kings. I think that's exactly what you just described there is exactly what they did. This guy goes to school, comes back, starts working for his dad, starts his own company from the dad's company, and next thing, look at them, boom. Something that's rare in the black community.
Yeah, I think it's the risk aversion. We're a bit scared, Even and succession planning, how it shows up, right? I always tell people this, how you see it in our culture is how few conversations we want to have about after we die.
That is so true.
Right? Like, think about it. Like, the most educated Zambian, PhD in astrophysics from Germany, and you sit and say, okay, Dad, after you die, like, what are you saying?
Hey, are you wishing death on me?
Right? That superstition is so strong in us that no matter the amount of education we have, we can't wire ourselves to think that way. And I often tell people a story. It's like a bit of a kind of personal life story, but it's something that's always encouraged me to try and think different. I remember being in college in Miami, in Florida, and one of my friends, who's a white American, was 21, 22 years old, and he was reviewing and signing his trust documents that were going to govern how his assets were going to be managed into perpetuity. And this guy's 21. Like, you can't even get a grown, like a 75-year-old Zambian man to talk about things that this guy at 21 was reviewing and signing with lawyers, saying that this is how.
Because his brain is not done developing, though.
Yeah, but I mean, he was obviously he was kind of, I guess, groomed in the positive sense.
Culture.
Yeah, right. To say this is how you should think. These are the things you need to be cognizant of. And now he's a big shot executive at a company, and he acquired the company from his father. He bought the company.
Wow. Speaking of culture and race and generational wealth, and I think about the black community and how a lot of people in America now sort of identifying with African roots and being proud of that. Yeah. What's that thing, the homecoming thing in Ghana?
Yeah, well, they started with the year of the return. But I don't know. Then they've been doing, I guess, what they call it. Well, they do that December thing every year.
Always imagine a situation where, imagine how much black Americans have learned in America right now. And if they all decided to come back to Africa, how we could change things this side. Bro. Do you think that could even be a possibility? Do you think that can change Africa in any way? Do you think that can work?
So certainly, like there's like a cultural civil war that's like playing out a little bit. Like, and it's funny because there's a guy I follow on social media. His name is Boyce Watkins.
Okay,
he's a finance PhD. I forget what he was. He was one of the first black finance PhDs in America, I think, which was surprising because he's not that old. But so just, I guess, goes to show again black community challenges, but he went to Ghana recently and he started tweeting about all the investment opportunities and how, African Americans should be looking at Africa. And so many of the African Americans were very resistant. They were like, what would we want to be doing there? And like, well, this like, a little bit dismissive. So I think we have like a lot of work to do to like bridge that cultural divide.
We do.
Like, there's a little, I don't know.
I think that's what was so different from white people, because can you imagine in the 1600s, the white man leaves Europe and goes exploring and discovers Cape Town, discovers America, and they start developing those places. We're not like that as black people. You know what I mean? Because those blacks would come back right now to develop Africa if we had that mindset as well. Else you're saying?
Yeah. We also have a crabs in a barrel mentality.
Yeah, there's that.
I started on the same level as Gob. there's no way that God can then now begin to be more successful than I am. We all we all belong to in the same level, right? So either we all make money or ain't nobody making money.
It's actually crazy. So the way I characterize it, right? And this is something I think a lot about, and I think you guys are in a great position to, like, obviously with the mix of entertainment and everything, to kind of help people think and help people kind of like reflect on some of these things, especially because of the variety of guests that you guys host. But what I call it, right, going back to you were saying, like, how come we fail to scale, right? And there's something I think about a lot that's related to this new conversation, is that the way I describe it is I call it subsistence thinking, right? Like, I believe that other cultures have learned how not to necessarily live for survival only. We are very much wired to living for survival. Yeah. So when we farm enough to eat.
Subsistence
right?
farming.
Yeah. Like, if you look, who are the commercial farmers in Zambia?
The white Zambians.
It's not
the white Zambians, yeah.
Because all of us were growing 1 hectare of maize.
Just to fill my barn.
That is absolutely true.
So it's this subsistence thinking, which I don't know if it's like a generational trauma thing where, because, I don't know, we had to be so tough and just stay alive for so long that we've like now geared our thinking to just how do we stay alive and nothing more. Whereas certain cultures are very surplus minded. Right?
Abundance minded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some people blame it on weather. Some people say, no, in the cold countries, they're planners because there's only a very limited amount of time you have to grow food, and then you have to store the food, right? So there's a lot of theories about why, and it's an endless debate. But certainly if you just look at it and diagnose it, you will see this in a lot of aspects of how we live as Zambians.
That is so true what you're saying. And we aren't ambitious enough.
That's the word I was trying to. Yeah. I was looking for. Yeah,
it's a subsistence, man.
Mulenga, if Mzingamelo says, Kalenga, what's one thing that I can give you? What would you ask her for? 30-second elevator pitch.
That's a good one, actually. And she's got access to a lot of money.
Again, you're thinking small. The minute that you think of
money. That's my point.
Don't think of money.
Yeah.
Think opportunity.
Dinner with Jay-Z. 500,000.
Because I've thought about that so many times.
What would you ask for?
Give me to ABSA Group. And from ABSA Group, depending on which business. So I run one of 3 businesses. The software development, the Fintech, and software development, Fintech, and the interior design and implementation. So every single one of the branches that you guys are going to build, I want to do them. I want to build a uniform system that would be used across all the ABSA countries that you guys have. So you then now begin to attack it from that angle where don't give me money. Give me an opportunity.
Put me in the right place. Put me in front of the right people.
Place. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then let me pitch my ish. Because now when you then say, okay, why don't you just allow me to, I don't know, do this for Zambia? Yeah, I should give it to you. All right. But then now when you think outside the box where you say, I want to do it from a group level where every single one of the places.
I know
where you want. I know where you want to go.
Let him go. Let him go.
I not telling her to say, can you fire that and employ me? Can you fire that person and employ me?
What do you mean?
There are other people who are doing like the decorating, the interior design and everything. So it's like you're saying, fire that person and employ me.
No, not really. Because anybody who's going to build an ABSA branch doesn't necessarily work for ABSA.
No. I mean
cut their contract.
Yeah, cut their contract and give me their contract.
No, again, it now begs the question, how good are you at what you're doing? Because what you need to realize is whatever you're pitching, you're not the only person who's pitching that or who's currently doing it. Can you offer better value than the person who's either currently doing it right now, or what angle do you bring? I'll give you an example. With Cyrex, for example, we were just a branding company. all we used to do was signage and branding. And we realized that a lot of the time, a company would then have somebody come and do the building, do the fittings, do the inside, and then they give us a half-done reception or a half-done building and say, put our logo there. Even if your logo is good, if it's put on a shitty building, it's not going to look good.
Lipstick on a pig.
Lipstick on a pig. That then births the opportunity where you then say, you know what, guys? Let me actually do your entire interior. So when I'm building your reception, it is with the branding in mind.
Yeah.
So now, the person who's already doing branding for ABSA, you are now bringing more value to say, I'm not only just doing the branding for you. I'm giving you a turnkey solution. I'm doing everything. So now, as the business people, they'll be like, you know what? Instead of hiring 10 contractors to do this, we're going to hire one person who's going to do everything. So I don't really feel it's a cancel the contract.
We're always competing at the end of the day.
Yeah. Just give more value and you get what you need.
So I'll use this opportunity just to hopefully relay some value to one of the viewers. But what you're saying reminds me of something that I learned when I was living in Miami from a Jewish guy. He told me his approach to business, and this is, adjacent to what you're saying, right? Like if you notice this opportunity where it's like, okay, we do signage, but I've just seen that there's this.
Precisely.
His rule was, I don't know if you've ever seen, and forgive me, especially all the Jews, I'm not like very clued up on like Judaic theology, but there's the hand symbol. And I believe the name of that hand symbol, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like a Jewish symbol of the hand. And I believe they put the Star of David in the middle. But he told me that was the basis of his business philosophy.
Right.
And he called it Hamza. I think they call that hand Hamza, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Please forgive me for any theological mistakes. But the point is the following. He said that for any business I do, there must be 5 fingers. 5 different sources of revenue from that business. So he said, when I do real estate, right, I'm an agent. I'm a licensed agent. So I make a commission on any sale, right? He's like, then I'm also an advisor and I can do improvements and do renovations for the client I sold to, right?
You know what comes to mind? McDonald's.
Okay.
Let him finish. You'll come.
No, keep going.
No, yeah. So, and then I do the renovations for them. And then if they need tenants, right, in their newly, refurbished property, I can get them tenants and I make another fee on that, right?
Yeah.
And then if they ever want to sell, I also can get another commission. Exactly. So I make a commission of that. And he's like, and I also invest and buy properties myself, which I then lease out on my own. So he's like, so I have at least 5 different ways from the same, right? And I was like, man, that's such a beautiful concept. This guy is like squeezing all the efficiencies out of like one sector, if you will, right? And so what you say about the signage made me think of the Hamza, and I think it's a beautiful way to think about.
When I mention McDonald's, because you know that McDonald's is not in the fast food industry,
Real estate.
they're into real estate, right? So they own the building that they
Trading in.
They're trading in. So they're creating value where they own the building and they're also making money. And again, it's a franchise, right?
Yeah. Dude, do you follow Rabbi Daniel Lapkin?
Yes, he has that good book.
I heard that from him.
Yes.
I heard that
Oh, really?
from him.
Oh,
yeah, the same one. I just couldn't remember the name.
Awesome.
He also speaks about how the richest people have at least 5 to 7 streams of income.
I heard it was 8.
Yeah, 5 to 7, 8.
But
but Jewish numbers, they'll pick 7.
Yeah.
They'll pick 7 streams of income. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like how he explained where that principle comes from.
Yeah.
From Elisha and the woman at the well. You followed that?
No, I haven't heard this.
Oh, wow. So remember Elisha goes to this little village and he's looking for a place to sleep and he meets this woman at the well and he's already seen in the spirit that this is the one who's going to give him a place to sleep and food to eat. And she takes him to her house after he explains to her that he's a prophet, Elisha, and blah. She takes him to the house and she gives him a meal and a place to sleep. And he tells her he doesn't have money to give her. I think that's, if I remember correctly. But No. It's like when he asked for food, she said she didn't have food. She thinks she didn't have money because she's actually owing, and people are coming to pick up her son the following day as a slave. Remember that much?
Yes. I remember that part, yeah.
So as he was leaving, because she didn't have any money, she was poor, the husband died and left them debt, he says, bring me as many water pots as you have. And he had a little leather, whatever thing you call it. It was there was oil in it.
Okay.
So she brings all these water pots and he starts pouring from that little oil sachet, whatever they call it. And by some miracle, this oil just keeps pouring out. One big vessel, another big vessel. And I think he fills up like 7 of them. And while he's filling up the 7th, he asks her, are there more? And she says no. And immediately she says no, the oil stops flowing. So according to how the Jewish people have understood that verse, it's like God is telling them, you can't get rich from one business. That's the first lesson. One business will scale up to a certain level and it will no longer bring any more income. You just remain. I think you've seen that in businesses that you do. You reach a certain point where you can't make any more money. So you have to open another one that God fills up. You know what I mean? And they believe so much that they have to have at least 7 businesses for you to attain that billionaire status.
Interesting.
And he gave so many examples of people who are billionaires and they own so many businesses. We look at Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, there were so many businesses. Like, wow, the Jewish people have understood the Bible differently from the rest of us. And I think that's what makes them a whole different breed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should follow that Bali, bro.
Not the guy that owns OnlyFans.
He has one business. There's always exceptions to those rules, bro. Oh, he only has one business?
Yeah, OnlyFans.
Only one business. Only.
I mean, to be fair, Bill Gates also kind of was pretty concentrated. But even
Microsoft had so many sub businesses. If you really follow the story, you know what I mean?
Fair enough. Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? It's so funny. Did you notice that earlier this month, I posted something that Warren Buffett did? Did you see that? On the 2nd of September, he sold $4 billion worth of Apple shares.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that, yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Apple released their phone. Okay, this is going to air in 2 weeks. When was it? On the 14th? What day was it?
2 days ago.
What was 2 days ago?
On the 9th.
On the 9th.
No, 8th.
And did you notice that their stocks plummeted by almost 17%?
Yeah, why though?
I've got my own theory. Do you have yours?
I mean, my theory is like when Warren Buffett does anything,
The market follows.
Yeah. Right? Like, because one, he won his track record, right? So, so all other institutional investors assume he knows something that they might not know. Yeah. And they just,
so we just
get out.
Follow.
Yeah. So we need to get out fast because he must know something, right?
My theory is on AI. The Apple intelligence did not live up to the hype and the expectations. And as a result, because of the race of AI and how other phones are embracing and using AI and making their gadgets more powerful, that's just my opinion. It's not based off much.
That's your theory for why the stock declined or why Warren Buffett sold?
Both.
Okay.
Because remember again, Warren Buffett is spending a lot of time in China. Remember that? Yeah, he is. Yeah. For electric cars, BYD. You remember he's an investor in BYD. Also, Chinese phones. He's investing a lot in those as well. You could explain. Yeah, I think he's believing more in Chinese products now than American products.
And if you look at Techno, because you know Techno already comes with DeepSeek.
Dude, the way I'm abusing that thing, I am abusing it.
Please don't.
This phone. Oh, beautiful stuff, bro.
Please don't.
This orange button here.
Yeah, man. Look, for months I would come on here and I would preach about the Camon 40, and you had given yours away. I'm happy to see that they've given you a second one. This nigga. You know, it's hard to put on niggas onto good things. And listen, I'm calling you a nigga on purpose because there's a difference between black people and niggas.
Capitalist nigga.
At times, you're
read that book. Dope book.
Yeah.
Buy that book if you haven't read that book. Capitalist Nigga. Really good book. It's talking about a lot of things we mentioned today. How black people are always left at the bottom of the barrel and pulling each other down.
So how many businesses are you running?
Oof. Well, running one.
Or own?
Oof. That's an interesting question.
Off the top of your head.
Oof.
Capitalist Nigga.
There's 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
Which one brings in the most money?
Oof. The one that you met me through.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Would you work with your wife?
Would I work with my wife? I mean, I've never really thought that would ever be a scenario for me or a necessity, but I am the type of person who likes to kind of separate. Like, I like home to be home.
Right.
And work to be work. I don't want to take work home or take home to work.
Yeah.
I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah. No, I hear you. There's I guess there's also like a little downside to it. I'll tell you about it off air.
Good thing. Couples that work together, they're tough.
What do you mean?
No, like you said, you don't want to bring your work home or your home.
Would you work with your wife?
Like when the same office all day, every day. I don't think I would.
You don't think you would?
Not that I don't love her, but just I don't know if I want to see her all day, every day.
The quick save.
No, like he said, you don't want to bring your home to the work and the work to home.
No, but he didn't then run on and then give a disclaimer. It's like, no, I don't like her.
Nah.
He stood 10 toes down. I was like, no, I'll meet you at home, woman.
That's it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll have a nice meal together.
I had to sit with his legs tightly crossed, like. How do you sit, nigga? Come on, man.
Hey, he's 9 years deep, so things we don't know.
What kind of businesses right now do you feel you might want to invest in? What's on the rise?
Really? So I'm a little bit of a traditionalist, which is why I was listening to like what you were saying about Warren Buffett, and my interpretation of Warren Buffett is slightly different. Like he's I would say, as far as investing goes, quite traditional, and he typically only changes positions in his portfolio when something fundamental changes about the dynamics of that business. And I guess AI could be a fundamental change potentially, but he's so deliberate and moves so slowly. But anyway, so to answer your question, I'm actually interestingly quite interested in real estate right now.
Right.
Which is a very traditional brick and mortar industry, but I just see so many inefficiencies. And so I'm thinking about this quite deeply about how could I.
Have you ventured into it?
Yes, I have in a smaller way to start, but I think I'm going to scale up those efforts.
Okay. Okay.
Chanda's been a good one, man.
Thank you.
Like,
is there anything that you hope that we'll touch on that we didn't?
No, man, I was pretty open-minded, and I still got shocked.
How do you know Sam?
Which Sam?
The same guy who introduced me to you.
Oh, we know each other because of finance stuff, man. Okay, I thought
he's a sharp guy.
Yeah, he is smart.
Let me tell you, oh my
He is smart.
God. This guy literally interrogated my business.
Yeah.
And he would not introduce you to somebody until it gets to a point where he's satisfied with the state where your business was. It got,
No, that's good. That's.
I want to read some of the things that this guy would ask me. It got to a point where he said, okay, dude, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Sam has got disappearing messages. He said, get off your phone for the next 20, 30 minutes. Because if you're going to answer every question that I'm going to send, you're going to get frustrated. So let me send all the questions, then come back after 20, begin to tag every single one of them, and begin to answer them. So there could be some people that are entrepreneurs that might be interested in knowing some of the things that people like you and Sam would ask. You see, all this stuff.
Jeez, wow.
It's insane, man. Like, I can't single out like particular generic questions because a lot of them were like really centered around my business. But it has really opened up.
He made you feel like you've just been playing, right?
You say what?
He made you feel like you've just been playing around, right?
Sure.
No, that's a good.
You need such people. I've got one in my life as well who just
very important.
Ask the hard questions that nobody asks. Yeah. Chanda, it's been real having you here, man. Like I've learned quite a bit about, especially the scaling part. There's a reason I was asking you that, and I think we need to have another conversation.
Why do you want to scale?
It's just things I've been thinking about getting into. And like you said, there are businesses that are scalable. Some just have to remain where they are. So there's questions I have about something I want to get into.
Sure.
Is it scalable? Should I get into it? What am I doing?
Yeah.
The business that I'm doing already, when can I scale? Should I scale? I know it's about demand, but...
And also, what does scaling mean to you? That's the other thing. Does scaling,
Okay, go on.
Does scaling does it mean hiring 2-3 more people, for example? Does scaling mean buying another microphone?
or opening another branch,
Opening
no
another
branches
branch.
all over the
That's
country.
why I'm saying, what does scaling mean?
No, there's something I'm trying to work on that I need to consult from him.
And
That's
I
the
hear
point.
you.
Yeah.
I'm saying even before you ask anybody,
Yeah.
you should already ask yourself that, like, what does scaling
growth
mean?
look like?
Right? What does, because a person can only advise you, especially if it's your business and your industry, which you know more about than the person that you're asking.
Right. Yeah.
Your pupil is different. Your left pupil, your eye, is different to the right one.
It's scaling.
No, but look at his eyes. Look at his eyes.
So serious.
Do you see that? No, don't do that. Just don't do that.
I don't know where she look now.
I don't see anything different.
No, his left, like, look at his eyes are different. See, now look at that now. You don't see
I
that?
think it's just the angle, bro.
Maybe it's that light reflecting.
Yeah, I think it's just the angle. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Chanda. Now I'm gonna look in the mirror after this.
Oh, yeah. So it's phenomenal. Business-wise, there's quite a lot more that I would want to know.
Yeah, no.
I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'll still want to learn a bit more, and we could speak for hours.
Yeah, no, I'm keen to pick up our conversation. Obviously, you have
And again, I think more importantly, another thing that I might also want your advice on is if somebody wants to access finance, off the top of your head, what are the top 3 go-tos
What's the question? What top do you go to for?
to raise capital?
Oh, to raise capital. Oh, okay. What you need to have?
No, where do you go to get capital?
Where do you go? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a broad question.
And don't say the bank.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. But all these things, it's so context dependent, right? It depends the type of business, how long it's been running. Has the business already proven a concept, right? Like there's too many variables.
So I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
Say you want to get into a business of selling tomatoes. You've got a farm. You have people who are going to buy the tomatoes from you.
Okay.
And you would need $500,000. So, option A, you haven't sold to anybody yet. Pick and Pay is interested, ShopRite is interested, but you haven't sold to anybody yet. And option B, you've been selling to small people here and there. You've got a track record. You make 10,000 here, 5,000 there, 20,000 there, and you want money. So, option A, where you haven't started before, how do you go about it? Who do you go to?
So I think the meta takeaway here, right? And it'll answer your question, but I think that the thing that any entrepreneur, anyone who's in business needs to think about, and we think about, and you and everybody, but is the issue, I would say, is the life cycle of capital, right? Every business has a different capital need according to where in its life cycle it is.
Correct.
And I think that that's an issue that I found is often misunderstood. So like I've had people complaining at the bank that the bank won't give them money, but what they need is actually venture capital. They need risk capital. It's like a brand new idea. They've maybe they've built a little tech platform, but they have like no clients yet, and they're trying to go to a bank. I'm like, well, a bank wouldn't do that. That's not a bank's business.
Right conversation, wrong place.
Yeah, exactly, right? So again, it's an issue of life cycle. Maybe if you were already a going concern, you've got cash flows or this kind of stuff, then you can maybe talk to the bank. But so first place you should go, if you can, and obviously I have to temper this with the fact that everybody has a different situation. Of
course.
But as much as you can, the first place you probably want to go is friends and family. Right? Because they are willing to take a risk on you at an early stage.
Yeah.
Like
Right?
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. And obviously it's what changes the scale. Like Jeff Bezos, I think, got $500,000 from his, right? So not all of us will get $500,000, but whatever you have access to, that one rich uncle or whatever you have access to, you need that first risk capital, right? And then after you get risk capital and you find what's known as product market fit, and you now have clients that are paying clients, hopefully then you can think about the next phase, which might be an angel investor, someone who doesn't know you, has a little bit more liquidity than your friends and family, but is still not necessarily a bank, right? So then you've got angel investor. Then you would go probably to a seed level investor who's a little more liquid than an angel investor. Then you would maybe go to a venture capitalist that'll now help you scale, right? And then now you can start looking at the other stuff, right? The banks, the more mature private equity, IPO, stock market, all this kind of stuff comes all after that. So I think the question is really about that. that about the life cycle of capital. But the first place you're going to go, friends and family.
And one of the organizations that I have seen, I haven't gone that direction, but I've seen that they've helped quite a lot of people. Have you heard of Zambian?
Yes.
Incredible. So they have got a network of investors, right? And depending on, just like you've said, precisely what you're looking for, they'll probably match you with the right investor.
Yeah.
And I was introduced to this by Elias Chipimo, who I'm hoping we're going to have on the podcast soon.
He said November.
So I try as much as possible to learn as much as I can about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And I am lucky that I also have this podcast where I want to learn with everybody else who's following my journey.
Yeah.
So at a point, and you looked at my books, and it got to a point where when you looked at my books, my business was in debt, right? Is the business making money? 100%. But it will get to a point where the business is in debt, but that doesn't mean that the business is not a good business, right?
Yeah, of course.
There's quite a lot that you are able to maneuver. And in the quest to get to where I want to, you'd get so many people who'd waste your time, some people who would say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do it. Come to me in 6 months. And, all that bullshit. So, yeah, as I learn, as I see things that make sense, I hopefully would tell people to say, okay, so there's a pothole here. You might want to avoid it, right? There's people like you, for example. I've went there and it worked for me in the following 1, 2, 3. I've come on the podcast and I've spoken about the Zambia Credit Guarantee Scheme. I'm sure you know about them, right?
Yeah.
So, again, sort of ties into the bank where you don't have enough security.
Exactly. To take a chance on an SME.
Right.
Exactly. So
they come in.
It, yeah.
But now I don't know if it's unique to Zambia, but I know in Zambia it is there. I know you don't approach them directly. The bank does that on your behalf.
Exactly.
And you don't even know
about it. Yeah.
About it. It sort of just works. So if you know you've got a good, solid business plan and security is an issue, still take your chance.
Yeah.
Go there and say, you know what, to be honest, I've got no security, but.
Yeah.
And then sort of watch them say, oh, okay, you know what, we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
What they're doing is going to Mary and her team and saying, hey, listen, we've got Kalinga and this idea.
Yeah.
We believe it might work. And they would most likely, and I've seen that they've just signed up FNB. Yeah. Anyway, listen, I'll ramble on and on.
Entrepreneurs, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Vision carriers.
Brother, I don't.
Has more money gone out?
No, I'm getting reports from my team of daily sales.
So that's the money that went out?
No, I still don't know the money that went out. Who took my money?
That happened to me on Monday.
Oh, did you leave the card with?
And then what happened, what I didn't realize was there's a transaction I did with my card.
And the notification
only came like a day or two after, yeah.
They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that. They'll give niggas heart attacks. Can you imagine you're in the middle of having sex, especially with you wearing that watch, and you see like 1,000 going out of your account and you don't remember because it was the day before? Immediately.
Not a conversation Chanda wants to have right now. Chanda's been real, man. Thanks for coming through.
Hey, listen,
really appreciate it.
You're still doing it every day, aren't you?
Come on, man.
Guys.
Marriage is sacred. Respect it.
my wife.
You guys doing it runs 2 months later.
Until the next episode, have a lovely day. Chanda, thanks for coming through, man. You dropped enough gems that I appreciate it.
Cool.
Cheers.